Steph Curry, a brilliant start to this game. 21 points, finished with 34 in the Game 1 loss.
This level after and the way it happened to give up a pretty big lead in that kind of avalanche in the fourth quarter.
It's not ideal, but believe in who we are, how we deal with adversity. Excuse me. How we responded all year, how we responded in the playoffs after a loss. So learned a lot from that fourth quarter. Obviously, they made a lot of shots. Seemed like, I think they didn't miss until deep into the fourth. And, when you have a team that just finds a little bit of momentum like they did and they keep making shots, so it's tough to kind of regain that momentum. And the guys that are making shots, obviously Al, Marcus, Derek White, Jalen early in the fourth, they play well. So we know they're a good team. So are we. We got to respond on Sunday.
Anthony, front left.
Yeah, Dallas was obviously very thirsty to shoot threes at all times. Boston, maybe doesn't operate that way, but do you feel like just defensively maybe because coming off the Dallas series you guys sagged off more than you should, believing that you weren't facing that type of attack? Or I guess just what do you think happened with all those wide open threes?
Rotations might have been a little slow. You obviously have to pick and choose where you send attention. Jalen and Jason have the ball in their hands a lot, and they try to create confusion with pick and rolls, putting a lot of different people in them. And Al was spaced, most of the game. And, when he's making shots like that and you're slow to rotate, it's just another threat that you got to worry about. And obviously, 26 points, 6 for 8, that's tough. And even Derek, scoring 20+ and 5 threes. So those two guys are key. And you hope they don't stay that hot, but you also have to do something about it, and we got to figure that out watching film, tomorrow and Saturday.
Logan on the right.
You started this game pretty aggressive. I think you scored 21 in the first. What tone were you trying to set going into this series?
Just playing aggressive, playing the way I know how to play. I think I found a lot of space, obviously, in the first quarter and just trying to ride that wave as long as I could. And, they're obviously a good defensive team, but we created enough good looks offensively, to win the game tonight. Just couldn't get enough stops and, that lead melted away in the fourth. So it's there's a lot of bright spots to how we play. Got to get over the tough feeling of letting one slip away.
Janie on the left.
Steph, what did it mean to have Otto back and just Andre's influence, just to give you guys some reinforcements there and two key people in your rotation?
It's huge to have options and have our guys back. It's the benefit of finishing the series like we did. And, they both made their presence felt, times throughout the game. So, again, that's how we do things. And it was nice to have them out there. I think, we all as a whole understand there might be different lineups out there based on, or different than last series. So we got to continue to try to build that chemistry, understand what we're doing on offense, especially when things kind of slow down a little bit.
Back to Tim.
Steph, Jordan's obviously had some really good moments in this postseason, but maybe tonight was not one of them. Where did you think his game was? It was I think Kerr mentioned that they were playing him pretty physically. Did you see that? Did you see him getting a little bit off his game?
Yeah, you're comparing the numbers that he's capable of and the way that he can play make and all that, and it's tough when you're switching series to feel out, how a team's going to guard him, and just making the right reads and slowing down a little bit. So, it's his first finals game, and there's a lot of adrenaline, a lot of nerves, and all that. But he'll settle in, and we all will play better game 2, and like I said, respond. So we've done it before. And got a lot of confidence we can do it, even based on how tonight went.
Vincent?
Steph, Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. Boston's had a tougher road getting to this point. 7-game series against Milwaukee, 7-game series against Miami. Do you almost feel like they were prepared to be resilient coming into tonight? You had the early flurry, they came back. You guys had the third quarter flurry, they came back and took over the game in the fourth.
I'm sure those experiences helped, but they also have a lot of veterans that have been around a good amount and had some tests and battles, and it's also kind of when you look up and the way that the game had went from start to the beginning of the fourth quarter. They went on like a little 7-0 run to start the fourth. They look up and it's only 5 points. And, those guys, none of them have been in the finals before. And we've been on the other side where you look up like, oh, we in this game. And that confidence is contagious. And they started making shots. So those little momentum swings that you can, step on the gas and really take a team's confidence away, you have to capitalize on that. And we didn't do that to end the third quarter, that last minute or so, and then to start the fourth quarter. And then you just live and die by the shots that they can make. And they got us tonight on that. So I'm sure those experiences help, but we can do something about it.
Question in the back.
Steph, you guys had a couple of droughts, second quarter, fourth quarter scoring. Is it tougher? Did it become tougher to create shots after they switched whatever they were doing on you when they were giving you a lot of space in the first quarter?
A little bit. They obviously made adjustments, but it was also we got a little rushed and didn't. I don't think we were smart enough in some of those situations to try to find the right matchups and try to create the right shots. And then it's also tough because you're taking the ball out the basket, the way that they were shooting the ball. So there's a combination of both. We obviously scored enough to win. It's just, they make 21 threes, and some guys who, had career nights shooting the ball. That was really the difference based on how it felt out on the court. Obviously, we'll watch film and see where some of those offensive, mistakes or droughts happen. But you score 108, you got enough to win. You got to get stops.
Robert Littell, BS. So when you start off, kind of following up on this question, when you start off that hot, is there an urge to maybe say, hey, I want to kind of roll that into the second quarter, I want to roll that into the fourth quarter, or is it just kind of trusting the rotations and then trying to get that rhythm back when you do come back in?
It's the latter, but it's also understanding, how this series develops. At most, we only got 6 games left, so make the necessary adjustments. And, like I said, it's about winning 4 games by any means necessary. And for 42 minutes, we did enough to win the game tonight. That's not how the basketball works. So I think everything starts to become on the table when you look at trying to get ourselves back in the series on Sunday and taking it from there.